You know what hurts the most? It's not the betrayal itself. It's realizing that the people you loved the most never really saw you at all. My name is Zara, and this is the story of how my own family destroyed me and how I made them realize what they lost. I was born into a middle-class family. My father owned a small textile business. Nothing fancy, but it kept food on the table. My mother was a homemaker who believed that girls should be modest, obedient, and above all, silent. I was the eldest. After me came my brother Horace, and from the day he was born, everything changed. See, in our family, in our culture, sons are treasures. Daughters, we're just temporary guests, waiting to be sent off to another home. But I didn't let that stop me. I studied hard, topped my class every single year. I got a scholarship to one of the best universities in the city. I thought maybe, just maybe, if I proved myself worthy, they'd see me differently. But no, every achievement I earned was met with the same response. Beta, don't get too proud. Remember, one day you'll have to leave this house. Haris is the one who will carry our name forward. I swallowed my anger. I told myself it was just their generation, that they didn't mean it, that deep down they loved me. I was so naive. After graduation, I got a job at a marketing firm. The pay was good, really good. And you know what I did with that money? I gave most of it to my parents. For Horace's education, for the house repairs, for my mother's medical bills when she got sick. I did everything a son would do, everything and more. But I was still just the daughter. Horace was the golden boy, the one who could do no wrong. My parents poured everything into him. New phone, Horace got it. Expensive coaching classes, Horace got them. A car when he turned 20, you guessed it. And me, I bought my own phone with my salary. I paid for my own courses. I took the bus to work every single day. But I told myself it was okay, because I loved my brother. I really did. He was younger, carefree, and full of dreams. I wanted him to succeed. And then he failed. Horace barely passed his degree. He couldn't find a job. He tried his father's business, but he had no interest in it. He was more interested in hanging out with friends, going to parties, living the life. Meanwhile, I got promoted. I became a senior marketing manager. My salary doubled. I was handling major campaigns, working with big clients, making a name for myself. Did my parents celebrate? Did they feel proud? No. Instead, my mother sat me down one evening. Zara, she said gently, you're 28 now, it's time you got married. I stared at her. Amy, I'm focused on my career right now. I'm not ready. Her face hardened. This is exactly the problem. You've become too independent, too strong-headed. What will people say? That we couldn't control our own daughter. My father joined in. We've found a good proposal, a decent family. The boy works abroad. You'll have a comfortable life. But I already have a comfortable life, I said. I built it myself. That was my mistake, saying that out loud. My father's face turned red. You think you're better than us? You think your money makes you superior? That's not what I meant. Enough. You will meet this family next week, and you will say yes. I was stunned, hurt, angry, but I agreed to meet them, just to keep the peace. The boy was nice enough, but within 10 minutes I knew it wouldn't work. He wanted a traditional wife, someone who'd stay home, raise kids, and forget she ever had ambitions. I politely declined. And that's when everything fell apart. My parents were furious, not disappointed, furious. You rejected him, a boy who works in Dubai. Do you know how many girls would die for this proposal? Then let them marry him, Amy. I'm not interested. My mother's eyes filled with tears. The emotional blackmail began. I raised you with so much love, and this is how you repay me, by shamming us in front of everyone. My father was worse. He stopped talking to me altogether. Days passed, then weeks. The house became a cold, silent prison. And then one night, my father called a family meeting. I sat down, hoping maybe we'd finally talk things through. Instead, he slid a piece of paper across the table. What's this? I asked. It's a loan agreement, he said coldly. For all the money we spent on you, your education, your food, your clothes, everything. We calculated it. You owe us 12 lakh rupees. I felt the air leave my lungs. You're joking, right? Do I look like I'm joking? You want to live like a man, making your own choices. Fine. Then pay us back, every single rupee. Horace sat there, silent. My mother looked away. I laughed, a bitter, broken laugh. You're charging me for being your daughter. You're not acting like our daughter, my father said. You're acting like a stranger, so we're treating you like one. Something inside me shattered that night. But I didn't cry, not in front of them. I went to my room, packed a small bag, and left. I walked out of that house with nothing but my clothes, my documents, and a heart full of pain. They didn't stop me. They didn't even call out my name. The first few nights were the hardest. I stayed with a friend, sleeping on her couch, trying to process what had just happened. I felt humiliated, abandoned, worthless. But then something shifted inside me. I realized something important. I had been living my entire life trying to earn their love, trying to prove I was enough. But I was always enough. They just refused to see it. So I stopped trying to prove anything to them. And I started building for myself. I rented a small studio apartment. It wasn't much, but it was mine. I worked harder than ever before. I took on extra projects. I networked. I learned new skills. Within 6 months, I got headhunted by a multinational company. The offer was incredible. Double my current salary, a leadership position, a chance to travel. I accepted immediately. And slowly, I started healing. I made new friends, real friends who valued me for who I was, not what I could give them. I traveled. I explored. I discovered parts of myself I had buried for years. For the first time in my life, I felt free. But here's the thing about freedom. It comes with a price. And sometimes, that price is loneliness. Because no matter how much I tried to move on, a part of me still missed them. Still wondered if they ever thought about me, if they ever regretted what they did. I would find out soon enough. 2 years passed, 2 years of silence. I had blocked their numbers. I avoided places where I might run into them. I built a whole new life where they didn't exist. And then one day, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't pick up, but something told me to answer. Hello. Silence. Then a shaky breath. Zara. It was my mother. My heart stopped. How did you get this number? I asked your old colleague. Beta, please don't hang up, please. I should have. I should have ended the call right there. But I didn't. What do you want, Amy? She started crying, big, heaving sobs. Zara, we need you. Please, your father, he's very sick. The business is failing. Horace, he's drowning in debt. Everything is falling apart. Please, Beta, come home. We need your help. I felt a strange numbness wash over me. You kicked me out. You made me pay for being your daughter, and now you need me. I know we were wrong, but please, we're your family. You can't just abandon us. The audacity, the absolute audacity. I didn't abandon you, Amy. You threw me away. There's a difference. Zara, please. I hung up. My hands were shaking. My heart was racing. Part of me wanted to block the number and forget this ever happened. But another part of me, another part wanted to see it, wanted to see them broken, wanted them to feel even a fraction of the pain they caused me. So I made a decision. I would go back, but not as the desperate daughter begging for love. I would go back as the woman they created, the one who learned that family is earned, not owed. I showed up 3 days later. I drove up in my new car. I wore my best outfit. I looked successful, confident, untouchable. Because that's exactly what I was. My mother opened the door. She looked older, tired. Her eyes were red from crying. Zara, you came. I stepped inside without a word. The house looked different, smaller, sadder. The paint was peeling. The furniture looked worn out. My father was sitting in the living room. He looked up when I entered. For a moment, our eyes met. He looked away first. Horace was there too. He looked uncomfortable, guilty even. "Sit, Beta," my mother said softly. I remained standing. "You said you needed help. I'm here. Tell me what's going on." My father cleared his throat. His voice was weak. "The business, it's failing. We took loans we couldn't repay. Horace was supposed to manage things, but—" He trailed off. "But what?" I pressed. "He made some bad investments," my mother said quietly. "Lost a lot of money, and now the bank is threatening to take the house." I looked at Horace. He couldn't meet my eyes. "And you want me to fix this?" It wasn't a question. My mother nodded, tears streaming down her face. "You're the only one who can, Zara. You're successful, you have money, you have connections. Please help us. We're begging you." The word echoed in my mind. Begging. The same people who made me feel worthless were now begging me. I should have felt victorious, satisfied, vindicated. But all I felt was empty. I sat down, finally. "Let me ask you something," I said calmly. "Why did you kick me out?" Silence. Was it because I said no to one marriage proposal? Or was it because you never really valued me in the first place? My mother sobbed. We thought we were doing what was right, what society expected." "Society," I laughed bitterly. "You destroyed your daughter for society." My father finally spoke. His voice was broken. "We were wrong, Zara. We see that now. We took you for granted. We thought Horace would take care of everything. But we were wrong about everything. You didn't just take me for granted, Abu. You made me feel like I was a burden, like I owed you something for simply existing." "I know," he whispered, "and I'm sorry." Sorry. Such a small word for such a big wound. I looked at Horace. "And you, what do you have to say?" He finally looked at me. His eyes were filled with shame. "I should have stood up for you. I should have said something. But I didn't. I was selfish. I'm sorry, Oppie." The silence stretched. I could feel them waiting, hopping, praying that I'd forgive them, that I'd save them. And maybe the old Zara would have. But I wasn't her anymore. I stood up. "I'll help you," I said. Relief flooded their faces. "But not the way you think." The relief vanished. "I'll pay off your debts. I'll save the house. But after that, we're done." "Zara, please." "No, Amy. You don't get to do this. You don't get to throw me away and then expect me to come running back like nothing happened." "But we're family," she cried. "Family doesn't charge their daughter for being born. Family doesn't kick their child out for having a voice. Family doesn't choose one child over another." My father's head hung low. "I'll help you because I'm not like you," I continued. "I won't let you lose your home. I won't let you suffer. But don't mistake my kindness for forgiveness. That ship has sailed." I took out my checkbook, wrote the amount, placed it on the table. "This covers everything. The loans, the debts, all of it. Use it wisely." "Zara Beta, please don't leave like this." "I'm not leaving, Amy. I left 2 years ago. I'm just closing the chapter." I walked toward the door. Horace called out, "Oppie, wait." I turned. "I don't expect you to forgive me," he said, his voice shaking. "But I want you to know I'm proud of you. I always was. I just never said it." Something softened in my chest, just a little. "Then say it to your future kids, Horace. Say it to your daughters. Make sure they never feel the way I did." And with that, I walked out. This time, I didn't look back. Months passed. I didn't hear from them again, and I didn't reach out. But I heard through mutual connections that they were doing better. The business stabilized. They sold some assets. They downsized. They learned to live within their means. And Horace, he finally got serious, got a proper job, started contributing. Good for them. As for me, I kept building. I got promoted again. I started mentoring young women in my field. I used my story to help others find their voice. I even started therapy, because healing isn't just about moving on. It's about understanding why it hurt in the first place. And slowly, Piece by piece, I started to feel whole again. One day, I got a message. It was from Horace. "Oppie, I'm getting married. I know you probably won't come, but I wanted you to know. And I'm making sure my wife knows your story, so our kids grow up differently." I stared at the message for a long time. Then I replied, "Congratulations, Horace. I'm happy for you." And I meant it. I didn't go to the wedding. I wasn't ready for that. But I sent a gift and a note. Break the cycle, be better. So what's the point of all this? Revenge, justice, closure. Maybe a little bit of all three. But here's what I really learned. You can't force people to see your worth. You can't beg for the love you deserve. And you definitely can't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't destruction. It's becoming so successful, so happy, so whole, that their absence no longer matters. My parents wanted a daughter who'd sacrifice everything for the family. Instead, they got a daughter who learned to choose herself. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Because at the end of the day, the only person who needs to believe in you is you. They kicked me out thinking I'd come crawling back. They were wrong. I came back on my terms, and I left on my terms. And that's the real victory. Not every story has a happy ending. But every story has a lesson. And mine is this. Your value doesn't decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. Walk away if you must. Build yourself up. And never, ever let anyone make you feel small again. Because you were never small. You were just surrounded by people who couldn't handle your light.